I used to come in the gallery before I started working here as a child, because I'm originally from Wolverhampton. So it was really interesting when I got a job here to see how different it was and just how many staff were behind the scenes. And I never realised how much of a vehicle the art could be until I started working in an art gallery.
Renaissance investment has been successful in enabling greater public access to museum sites and putting museums at the heart of lifelong learning throughout the West Midlands region. Developments at the UNESCO World Heritage Site in Ironbridge Gorge dramatically illustrate this.
Renaissance funding has been incredibly important to the Ironbridge Gorge Museum Trust on many, many different levels. For example, here at Jackfield Towel Museum, this wonderful museum behind us, we have used Renaissance funding to lever in additional capital investments to develop the site. We've also used Renaissance funding to lever in extremely large amounts of capital investment for Bliss Hill Victorian Town. In terms of education, it has made an amazing array of projects possible. The delivery of fantastic hands-on interactive school programs to over 80,000 education visitors a year. It has made possible really exciting innovative projects such as our costume project over at Coalbrookdale, providing interactive costume needs, if you like, for other museums across the United Kingdom. It has made training and development possible for the entire staff at Ironbridge, and it has also supported the Ironbridge Institute, our joint project with Birmingham University, in the delivery of the historic environment and conservation courses for museums across the West Midlands. The other thing that Renaissance funding has made possible is something that's very exciting to us as a museum, with Ironbridge becoming the UK's first museum to host a set point, a regional centre supporting the key curriculum subjects of science, engineering, technology and maths.
The Renaissance initiative has been instrumental in developing facilities and online resources that put more collections on public view and helping museums to increase their involvement with local schools and communities, as demonstrated by the highly acclaimed community engagement programme introduced by Stoke-on-Trent Museum.
A number of our staff have taken part in the Renaissance at Work programmes, particularly in those specialist programmes, for example, in conservation. It's had a dramatic impact on the education side. 134% increase in contact time with school children.
We're now in the Brick Gallery at Gladstone Pottery Museum, and this room was entirely refurbished using money from the Renaissance projects. The flooring, the walls were all put in, and the furniture, but more importantly, the marvellous mural that you can see here on the walls was a young curator's project.
My name's Joe Messenger, and I'm an interpretation assistant here with Stoke-on-Trent Museums. This is our latest costume character, Samuel Peeps, which we've developed in response to inquiries from school groups wanting to know more about the Great Fire of London. We do quite a lot of costume work across the different sites. We generally find it's a good way to get the children's attention, it's more enjoyable for them, and it's more memorable. As you can see, I get to dress up quite a lot, which is quite good fun, and it's great having enthusiastic children to work with all the time.
A major area that Renaissance has contributed to is our outreach work.
Well, a lot of what we've been doing very recently is doing some consultation work with particular community groups, and I mean that's what I've been working on today with a group of adults with learning disabilities, and that's been trying to take things back to really discovering what it is that prevents people from coming into the museum. The group that I've been working with today are typical, they're very enthusiastic about being able to be included and have their opinions heard about the museum services and feel like they're actually making a change.
Well, the great advantage with the Renaissance funding that we've had in the Ceramics Gallery is that it's enabled us to build a whole lot of new cases, taking out cases which have been there since the late 1970s and completely revamping the displays. And it's particularly enabled us to get out some of the real treasures from the collection, which we just have had in store in some cases for 20 or more years.
I think this has been a brilliant initiative on the part of the Hub of Museums.
Yeah, we've had a great deal of help from Renaissance funding.
I've always been interested in art, but I've never really done anything with it until I joined Art Forum.
They provide equipment that we can't possibly have in schools.
I think it's absolutely wonderful.
It's been something that's really positive for my life.
Tell the outside world just how exciting a place this is.
There is no doubt that Renaissance investment is having a dramatic effect on museum services across the country. And in the Midlands, we can see ample evidence of this through increases in visitor numbers and satisfaction levels, wider community engagement, and positive changes in staff skills and morale. Museums are increasingly placing themselves at the heart of lifelong learning and engagement with the communities they serve, and in doing so are changing lives.